DW News coming to you live from Berlin. India is off to the moon as the Chandrayan 2 rocket successfully lifts off.
3, 2, 1, 0.
The unmanned spacecraft. Hello and a very warm welcome to you. I'm Amrita Chima. India has successfully launched an unmanned spacecraft to the far side of the moon. The Chandrayan 2 took off from the Satish Dhawan Space Center to cheers from thousands of onlookers. The launch had been delayed a week due to a technical glitch. The Chandrayan 2 carries an orbiter, lander and rover. It will travel for 2 months before the lander, Vikram, touches down on the moon's surface near its south pole. A robotic rover, Pragyan, will then spend 14 days collecting a mineral and chemical samples for analysis. The mission is a major step for India's efforts to become a space superpower. Up to now, only the United States, Russia and China have landed spacecraft on the moon.
Is now under close loop guidance.
Joining me now from Delhi is Rajeshwari Pillai Rajagopalan. She's the head of the Nuclear and Space Policy Initiative at the Observer Research Foundation. That's a think tank based in the Indian capital. Welcome, Rajeshwari. A big moment for India and its space program. What did you feel when you saw Chandrayan 2 lift off today?
No, I think this has been an exciting moment, not just for ISRO, the Indian Space Research Organization, India as a whole, but also for the whole world. This has become such a prestigious moment because there has been a global attention ever since US President Trump came into office. He talked about going back to the moon. There have been other countries such as India, Russia, China and Japan who have been trying to go back to the moon. The moon mission, China has undertaken a couple of impressive measures there. It landed on the far side of the moon earlier this year in the beginning in January. 3 years ago, it landed on the near side of the moon. So there have been quite a bit of attention even with respect to the moon missions, but also broader outer space itself has seen quite a bit of interest.
Now, Rajeshwari, when can we expect the actual landing to take place, and what are the trickiest parts of this mission?
So the landing itself is going to take place about 45 days from now. So around the September 1st week, September 6th or 7th is slated to the period when actually ISRO will land its the Chandrayan will land there. And then you have the trickiest or the terror hours of about when it can actually enter the lunar orbit. And I think that's going to be the most tricky part of the whole mission. This was a tricky mission in the first part. The Chandrayan separates from the rocket itself. That has happened. Now it will be parked in the what you call the Earth's parking orbit, EPO. There it will do a couple of maneuvers for the next few weeks, and before it gets onto the lunar orbit. And I think that's going to be the next major mission, that is the major milestone for the mission in a sense. And of course, landing, the soft landing, because even the landing is very tricky, because even the landing, the place where to land will be decided only moments before it actually does the real landing. So it's a very complex and very difficult mission, and this is the most complex mission that India has undertaken for the first time, landing on a non-terrestrial surface. So it's a big deal for India, a country.
But tell us again, Rajeshwari, just how significant is a successful launch for India's space program? And it seems that this time women are playing a significant role in this mission.
That is something that has been particularly attractive about the ISRO, the Indian Space Research Organization. ISRO has had a sizable number of women scientists who have led various projects, and in this regard, both the mission director as well as
4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, it seems we seem to have lost our connection to Delhi. We were listening to Rajeshwari Pillai Rajgopalan, head of the Nuclear and Space Policy Initiative at the Observer Research Think Tank in Delhi, and she was sharing some of the excitement which is being felt in India about the successful launch of the Chandrayan probe 2, which is headed off and lifted off towards the moon. It will making India only the 4th country in the world to attempt a landing on the lunar surface. Okay.